What if your pain wasn't a mistake? What if the darkness you're going through is where the treasure's buried? Carl Jung once said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." And Friedrich Nietzsche? He believed that we must hold chaos within us to give birth to a dancing star. This isn't just poetic philosophy. This is a roadmap. Because sometimes when life pulls you into the abyss, it's not trying to end you. It's trying to reveal you. If you've been in a place that feels heavy, unclear, hopeless, this video is for you. Not to fix you, but to remind you there's a gift in the darkness, and it's time we learn how to find it. There are seasons in life where everything feels like it's falling apart. You wake up and wonder, what happened to me? You feel disconnected from your joy, your purpose, even from the people you love. Some days you move through life like a ghost, functioning on the outside but fading on the inside. And yet, you keep going. Because you have to. Because you've learned how to smile through the pain. Because the world doesn't stop just because your heart is breaking. But inside, you know something is shifting. It's not just sadness. It's not just exhaustion. It's something deeper. Something is calling you, quietly, steadily, into the dark. Carl Jung knew this place well. He called it the night sea journey. To him, this descent into darkness wasn't a breakdown, it was a breakthrough in disguise. He believed that when life pulls you into the abyss, it's not trying to destroy you. It's trying to bring you face to face with everything you've buried. Old wounds, unspoken grief, shadows you were too afraid to name. And instead of escaping it, he urged us to turn toward it. Friedrich Nietzsche, too, understood the power of darkness. He didn't see it as something to be fixed or avoided. He saw it as necessary. He said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." In other words, if you can find meaning in your suffering, if you can listen to what the darkness is trying to teach you, you can survive anything. Even more than survive, you can emerge transformed. Because maybe the darkness isn't a punishment. Maybe it's an invitation to stop running, to stop pretending, to finally sit with your truth even if it trembles. And maybe, just maybe, that's where the light begins to rise. Not outside of you, but from within you. So if you're in the middle of your own abyss right now, this video isn't here to rescue you. It's here to remind you, you're not alone in the dark. And the dark is not the end. When darkness calls, the gift hidden in the abyss. Jung and Nietzsche. Let me tell you a story you might recognize. You were doing okay, or at least you thought you were. You had a rhythm. You were getting by. And then, without warning, life shifted. Something happened. A breakup. A loss. A silence you couldn't shake. A moment where the ground beneath you, emotionally, spiritually, just gave out. You didn't ask for it. You didn't plan it. But suddenly you were in the dark. Not the kind of darkness where you turn off the lights and go to sleep. The kind of darkness where everything feels unfamiliar. Where even your own reflection feels like a stranger. Where the things that once gave you joy now feel distant. And no one sees it. Because you still show up. You still smile. You still function. But inside you're searching for something, anything, that feels like solid ground. This is what Carl Jung called the night sea journey. New moon, the descent that changes you. According to Jung, the night sea journey is a sacred psychological process. It's when life draws you away from the surface, away from roles, routines, expectations, and pulls you deep into yourself. It's not a punishment. It's an invitation. An invitation to stop escaping, to stop avoiding, to finally face the parts of you that you've pushed away. The unspoken grief, the quiet shame, the fear that whispers, "What if I'm not enough?" Jung believed we all carry a shadow, the hidden part of ourselves we deny, reject, or suppress, and that when we refuse to look at it, it controls us from the dark. But when we turn toward it, when we stop pretending we're fine and let ourselves feel, that's when something shifts. That's when the healing begins. Fire Nietzsche, the abyss and the dancing star. Friedrich Nietzsche didn't fear the abyss. He respected it. He once wrote, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." What did he mean? He meant that inside your mess, your sadness, your confusion, there's still life, still creativity, still beauty trying to be born. Nietzsche knew that facing the abyss wasn't comfortable. It strips you bare. It removes what's false. It breaks what's fragile. But what's left? What survives the darkness? That's the real you. The you who doesn't need to be perfect to be whole. The you who knows how to sit with sadness and still feel sacred. The you who doesn't run anymore. Because you've learned that the dark doesn't always mean death. Sometimes it means rebirth. Speech balloon, if this message is speaking to your soul right now, pause for a moment. Please give this video a like. Share it with someone you know is quietly struggling. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more soul-deep reflections, healing truths, and shadow work teachings. Sparkles, you are not alone. And this space was made for people like you, brave enough to feel deeply. Candle the gifts hidden in the abyss. Most people think healing happens in the light. In peaceful retreats, in calm meditations, in soft affirmations. But often it starts in the dark. In a moment of heartbreak. In a breakdown at 3 a.m. In the moment when you stop pretending and whisper to yourself, "I can't keep doing this." That's when the real healing begins. Because in the darkness, the masks fall off. The noise fades. And what's left is just you. Raw, honest, awake. And it's there, in that quiet pain, that you finally begin to see yourself. Not the version of you you've been performing, but the real you. The one who still hopes. The one who still feels. The one who still has something inside that refuses to give up. Broken heart, real life darkness. Maybe your darkness came when you lost someone you loved, or when a dream fell apart, or when everything looked good on the outside but you still felt empty. Maybe no one knows what you're carrying. Maybe you've been pretending you're fine for so long, you've forgotten what it means to be real. That's okay. There's no shame in the dark. There's only truth. And that truth is you're still here. You're still breathing. And you're still becoming. The mirror moment. The abyss, Jung and Nietzsche would say, is a mirror. It doesn't show you your flaws. It shows you what's unfinished, what's unloved. And once you face it, you reclaim it. The rage becomes power. The sadness becomes softness. The confusion becomes clarity. You don't come out of the abyss as the same person. You come out real. You've looked into the dark and realized you're more than what hurt you. You're more than what left. You're more than what they said about you. And that changes everything. Sunrise, the rise after the fall. After the descent comes the return. Not to who you were, but to someone deeper. You begin to move differently. You speak more honestly. You give love more freely because now it's real. You don't need to pretend anymore. You don't need to chase or prove. You've met yourself in the dark. And what you found wasn't weakness, was you. The part of you that survived. The part that grew. The part that finally came home. Let's be honest, darkness doesn't always feel like some grand spiritual awakening. Sometimes it just feels awkward. It's sitting on your bed, surrounded by clean laundry you can't bring yourself to fold. It's canceling plans and saying, "Sorry, I'm just tired," when what you really mean is, "I don't know how to be around people right now." It's crying in the bathroom at work. It's binge watching a show not because you're interested, but because you're trying to feel something. It's wondering if anyone would notice if you just disappeared for a while. And still you keep showing up. Still, some part of you keeps going. That part, that quiet, tired, brave part of you, that's your soul. And it's working behind the scenes. Even when you feel lost, numb, or completely disconnected. It's healing, growing, remembering. You don't have to feel inspired every day. You don't have to turn your pain into art right away. Sometimes it's enough just to be here. And maybe, just maybe, surviving the day, feeling your feelings, asking for help. That's the most sacred thing you can do. Because healing isn't loud, soft, it's slow, it's real. And you're doing better than you think. So if you find yourself in the dark right now, If your heart feels heavy, if your hope feels small, if your soul feels tired, please know this. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're not alone. You are in a sacred place. One that Jung and Nietzsche both understood. One that doesn't look like healing from the outside, but is healing on the inside. Because the dark is not here to punish you. It's here to prepare you, to strip away what's false, to help you return to what's true. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it today, but something inside you is growing. Something brave. Something beautiful. So be gentle with yourself. Let the darkness do what it came to do. Because one day soon you'll rise from this place not weaker, but wiser, softer, stronger, more you than you've ever been. And that is the quiet miracle of the abyss. Milky Way, if this video gave you something to hold on to in the dark, please like, comment, and subscribe. Backhand index pointing down, let us know below. What's one thing the darkness has taught you? This channel is here for your healing, for your wholeness, for the parts of you that are still becoming. We'll see you in the next video. And until then, keep walking. The light is already inside you.